good afternoon, race fans. Welcome here as we get set for our 6th race of the season for the NNSCRA Hershey's Cup Series in Season 4. We are getting set for our first road course stop for this series here today as we continue to finish up our weekend at Infineon Raceway. It's been a very interesting weekend. Kind of some interesting things that we probably didn't expect. I mean, last time out with our Hershey's Cup Series non-charter race, I mean, we had ourselves a really, really good race there, but it was very caution-filled. That led NNSCRA officials to decide that this race, as well as yesterday's Pizza Hut X Series race, would be running without caution flags. And yesterday, we saw our very first repeat winner of the season in Joshua Osborne, going to victory lane for the second time in the Pizza Hut X Series. So will we see a repeat winner for the first time in this series here today? We will be finding out momentarily. I don't really see any of the former winners this season starting way up at the front. I think the highest starting of a former winner this season is Trent Dunham, rolling off from the 9th position. So we'll have to see what happens. Of course, 23 laps with CTS fall-off. This will more than likely turn into a pit strategy race as well. And unlike drivers who were able to stretch it the full distance in the Pizza Hut X Series race here yesterday, I very much doubt that any of these 42 drivers will be able to make it the full 23 laps without having to come to pit road at least once in today's race. Starting on the pole for today's event is going to be Nathan Hudson. Hudson was actually the points leader heading into last week's race, but he ended up losing the points lead to Trent Dunham. Hudson dropped down to 7th in the point standings, but he's still very much there in the mix, still looking for his first win since Season 1 when he won at, Season 2 I should say, when he won at Lime Rock Raceway in a Michael Norman Motorsports entry. Alongside of him, Joshua Ciculli in the 33. Ciculli trying to pick up his first win since Season 2 as well, I believe. Ciculli coming into today's race in the 21st position in the point stands. And of course his teammate L Alvarise went to victory lane last week, so obviously he would love to be able to put yet another second CJ racing car in victory lane. We'll have to see if he can do that, as we will be getting set in just a moment to get those most famous words in motorsports. Let's quickly give you a points lookout of what they look like coming in today's race. Trent Dunham is now the points leader by 4 points over Brooke Allen, 4 points also over D Poteet, 9 points back to Zachary Fitzwater, and L Alvarise jumped up to 5th in points. He is 11 points back. Rest of the top 10 in the stands are Brandon Gonzales, Nathan Hudson, Anthony McCrury, Joshua Michaels, and Cody Llamas. Let's go down and get those most famous words
Drivers,
in motorsports.
Start your engines.
I apologize. I got a bit of a phlegmy feel in the back of my throat. You can take a look down in the description at the full starting lineup for today's event. Here at Infineon, looks like everybody's going to be good to go here for the start of this race. And as we had in the Pizza Hut X Series, we will have our NNSCRA split cam on hand to be able to kind of fill you in on what happens here with some drivers that may end up getting involved in wrecks. We do not go back and look at replays since it is green flag from the start to the finish. Nathan Hudson, Joshua Ciculli lead us down. 23 laps of racing here. Infineon, green flag is out. New colors, National Guard sponsorship for T Walch in the 15 back there as they almost went 3 wide up here into this first corner. Settle it back out to double wide. Looks like Ciculli may get the advantage. Look at J Baskinger right up here asserting himself. He may have thoughts about for the lead here on the first lap as Hudson goes wide. So too does teammate T Walch. And Baskinger is going to try and get to the inside of Ciculli for the race lead. I think Baskinger will clear him going here into the entrance of the S's. And a nice job there by J Baskinger. Started this race from the 4th position, and he's going to lead, but for how long? Here comes Ciculli back on the outside. Swinging it high, wide, and handsome through the exit of the S's. Side by side between Baskinger and Ciculli. Who's going to lead coming through this right-hander? Baskinger on the inside line will get the spot. Ciculli will tuck back in line in the 2nd position. McIntyre in 3rd. Hudson now slips back to 4th, and that's D Poteet there in 5th. Look at it there, Ciculli trying to go for it again, as I believe Caitlin Sang, the 28 car, currently sits on the pit lane. Another car also there on the pit road. I couldn't see who that was. We'll look and see in just a moment here. Ciculli all over the back bumper of Baskinger. Z Flickinger's coming to pit road. Last week's winner, L Alvarise, is on pit lane. Charles Sandfer, another former winner this season, also on the pit road. There's Caitlin Sang. Shelton's on pit road. Brooke Allen, second in points. Zachary Fitzwater's on the pit lane as well. Emmanuel Hartnett. And Anthony McCrury was the black car that I saw on the pit lane. And now he's leaving pit road. Cole Baker, his teammate, also involved in something here. He's on pit road. Garrett Sydnor, our winner from Bristol Dirt, is also on pit road. So 3 of our former winners so far this season are on pit road. As Baskinger shows the way, defending winner of this race is in this field, and she's running very well right now, battling with J Gardner. K Tellier currently scored, battling in the 6th position, now about to maybe lose that spot to J Gardner. And it looks like J McCloud is coming to pit road. McCloud was in 10th last time by. He's got some rear end damage. K Tellier, as I mentioned, though, had 2 wins last season. Those came at road courses, both Infineon and Watkins Glen. K Tellier in a good position today at a track she knows very well, and a track that she's won at before, to maybe get Lincoln their very first Hershey's Cup Series victory. I do want to point out something that was an error on my part that I discovered when I was editing the brand new NNSCRA website, which you can go and check out. It's in the description, a link to the website. It's still under construction, but I spent all of last week saying that L Alvarise had not won a race since season 1 at Freeway when he took the checkered flag in Atlanta. That was actually incorrect information. L Alvarise is actually a 2-time winner in the Hershey's Cup Series. Yes, he did win back at Freeway in season 1, but he also had a victory in season 2 at Kansas. So I would like to apologize for that error on my part, and not remembering the fact that Alvarez has had not 1 but 2 trips to victory lane. It's a great run right now for J Baskinger. Baskinger coming into today's race is 30th in the point standings, and we mentioned coming into this season that he is the only driver to have made all 3 Hershey's Cup Series chases for the championship. Season 1 it was in a Ford, seasons 2 and 3 was in a Dodge. Moves over to a Chevy, and oh boy, went a little wide there, and that might allow Ciculli to close the gap. But, I mean, Baskinger, a lot of people were looking at that moving over to AS Racing to be a huge, huge benefit for AS Racing, but he just has had a tough time starting out the season. A trip to victory lane here at Infineon, I'll tell you what, that would certainly bolster this team's spirits, for no doubt. It's Ciculli. Ooh, contact! Ciculli forced off the racing surface as he tried to swing it wide around the outside again. And those 2 nearly just wrecked. And I'll tell you who would have loved to have seen that happen would have been Mr. Levi McIntyre, running the new paint scheme that we'll see him in for most of the season now. Levi McIntyre making an announcement a couple of days ago that he's retiring from doing WWE Supercard, and so therefore WWE Supercard leaving as a primary sponsor, and Levi McIntyre, diehard Carl Edwards fan, running a special tribute scheme to Carl Edwards, a number of sponsors that Edwards drove during the course of his career: Scott's Turf, Aflac, Stanley, Eris, and a number of others. That battle is going on for the lead again. Ciculli's got a strong Chevy Impala, and here he comes. Look at this! Literally forcing his way to the inside, and he nearly wrecked himself and Baskinger doing it. Boy, and Ciculli's going to be able to get by for the race lead, but I don't know how much Jake Baskinger's going to be willing to put up with that. What a power move, and really aggressive early on is Joshua Ciculli in that 33 car. Baskinger now might lose out on more as he kind of wheel hop that rumble strip. Levi McIntyre, Nathan Hudson right there to capitalize. Dylan Poteet's in that mix as well. It's kind of congested things up from second place on back. And McIntyre will move to second through the paperclip turn 11. Hudson now trying to get by for the 3rd spot. After losing the lead to Ciculli, now Baskinger on a bit of a free fall, but he'll keep the third position now. Nathan Hudson will drop back to fourth. How about the points leader coming into this race? Trent Dunham, nice run there for the Sega Motorsports Chevrolet. We already saw that a couple of drivers that are trying to chase him down the standings have had some difficult starts to the day. Second in points, Brooke Allen was on pit road early. Zachary Fitzwater right now is just barely on the tail end of the lead lap, running just ahead of the leaders. He may get caught before we end up getting to pit stops. As J Bryant moves around Trent Dunham, that's for the 7th spot, so Dunham back to 8th. And L Alvarise, our winner last week at Atlanta, has also been to pit road. So let's see if we can actually find out who's out of the race at this point. We have 6 drivers officially out of the race. They include Blaine Keys, Garrett Sydnor, Cole Baker, Charles Sandfer, Brooke Allen, and Caitlin Sang. 2 of those drivers former winners this season. Garrett Sydnor winning at Bristol Dirt, Charles Sandfer winning at Las Vegas. Of those drivers are running pretty well in the point stands coming into this race as well. Blaine Keys was 16th in points. Garrett Sydnor was 17th in the standings. Charles Sandfer came into today's race 13th in points. Cole Baker was 5th in the standings. Caitlin Sang was a go-or-go-home driver that made it into the race after finishing in the top 7 in the non-charter event a couple of days ago. And then of course Brooke Allen came in today's race 2nd in the point standings. This is I believe the first race so far this season that Brooke Allen and that 3 team have DNF'd. J Bryant looking good. He got by Trent Dunham for 7th. Now all over the back bumper of Johnny Gardner. That would be for the 6th position. Dodge Dart versus Ford Fusion, and JT's going to get alongside going here through the S's. Now can he make it stick to make the pass? Little door bang in there, rubbing. Oh, and J Bryant wheel hops the curb and takes Johnny Gardner with him. No cautions in this race, and JT's got quite a bit of damage as a result of that. Johnny Gardner comes back on the track. He nearly collected Joshua Michaels. Oh, look out! Cody Llamas trying to get by the wounded Ford of JT Bryant, and JT's coming to pit road. Johnny Gardner is not, but JT Bryant may have just cost himself a good finish. Talked about K Tellier running well. Well, how about Keith Batson? A good run there for that Lincoln as well. K Tellier crossing the line in 7th, so I believe that would score Keith Batson in 11th place. A good run for both of the drivers out of KAB Racing Enterprises right now. Cody Llamas, who lost the points lead a few weeks ago, he's now dropped to 10th in points. A solid outing there for that Dodge Dart as well. His teammate's not too far back. Benjamin Miles. There he is, battling right now with David Culpepper. And how about the driver who went to victory lane here 2 days ago in the non-charter race? Cody Smart has worked his way all the way up to, last time by, scored in the 15th position. He started this race from 36th, so he picked up 21 spots during the course of this run. I also forgot to say at the top of the show what the stages were for this race. And we are actually about to complete stage 1. It's 8, 8, and 7 for the stages here today. And this will complete stage 1, so Joshua Ciculli will get himself 10 valuable bonus points, and he will be the winner of our first stage here at Infineon, followed by Levi McIntyre in 2nd. Nathan Hudson will cross in 3rd. J Baskinger, or I'm sorry, not J Baskinger, Dylan Poteet rather, in 4th. Trent Dunham in 5th. Baskinger 6th. K Tellier 7th. Dallas McIntosh up there in 8th. 9th place T Walch, and Brandon Gonzales will be the last driver to get points here for this stage. Let's jump back here, find Dallas McIntosh. Good run there for that car out of Sega Motorsports. He has had a struggling start to the season. Currently finds himself 39th in the point standings. He's actually made every start so far this season, and there's drivers that have only made 2 starts ahead of him in the point standings, such as Daniel Gilbert, Seth Cole, Charles Jackson, and Matt McIntyre. And of course, we also have documented, this season, if you're of the top or the bottom 5 drivers that are chartered rides in the standings at season's completion, your charter goes to whoever's one of the top 5 drivers in the standings for the non-charter series. So Dallas McIntosh and that team need something to go their way to get themselves some better momentum. And right now, it's happening as he's currently scored in the 8th position. You gotta wonder of when these pit stops will happen, as now Levi McIntyre works his way around Emmanuel Hartnett, who is now a lap down. Joshua Ciculli has cleared him, and woo! McIntyre getting a little squirrely there, almost went off track, trying to get his way around that Cosmos Motors Dustless Blasters Toyota Camry out of Fire Ice Racing. And as the drivers kind of get wadded up behind the 83, that may end up making a potential battle somewhere here in the top 5. Nathan Hudson now about to try and make a move on Hartnett, going here into the entrance of the S's. He completes the pass. Now Dylan Poteet in 4th will try and do the same. Ciculli, though, showing the way out in front. I'm trying to remember how many career wins Joshua Ciculli has. I can look it up and find out. But I know that last year he went winless. So Ciculli obviously would love to be able to find victory lane again, but he had a number of wins. It was either like 2 or 3 in season 1, and then it was 2 or 3 in season 2. I think he has a total of at least 4 Hershey's Cup Series wins. I would have to find out. It seems going to be some more traffic up ahead that Ciculli may have to deal with. Zachary Fitzwater and Jessica Shelton, who are both on the tail end of the lead lap. Shelton in 30th and Fitzwater in 31st. And still only 6 drivers out of the race. We have a total of 5 drivers a lap down. We just saw Emmanuel Hartnett go a lap down. Also a lap down Jordan Lopez. J Bryant, after the incident we saw with him, he's a lap down 34th. Z Flickinger a lap down 35th. And L Alvarise still running in the 36th position, but he is also a lap down to the race leader and his teammate Joshua Ciculli in the 33. I'm silent for a moment. I'm counting the number of wins that Ciculli has. Ciculli had 3 wins. I was correct. He had 3 wins back in season 1. And then in season 2, he went to victory lane a total of twice. So yes, I was right. 5 Hershey's Cup Series wins career for Joshua Ciculli. It was interesting. I was looking back at the lap completion thing that I talked about last week at Atlanta, and there were only 3 drivers now coming into this race who have completed every lap so far this season. They were Anthony McCrury, Dylan Young, and Joshua Michaels. I believe all 3 of those drivers are still running on the lead lap. Michaels has scored in 12th, Dylan Young and Anthony McCrury back in 23rd and 24th, respectively. It looks like Dallas McIntosh in the 14 car. Yes, he's on pit road, and I think this is a regularly scheduled stop, so this may be the start of our pit stops. Dylan Young also on the pit lane. J Bryant's on pit road too, or was this a regularly scheduled stop? Well, apparently it was for McIntosh. He's down and away. Dylan Young's got some damage there, but J Bryant, his teammate there as well. I don't know if that's regularly scheduled stops for those drivers or not. So McIntosh gave up what I believe was the 7th position to come to pit road. So now the question is, when do we see more of the leaders hit pit lane? He was the only one in the top 10 to hit pit road that time by. Talked about McIntosh needing a good run there for Sega Motorsports. Another driver that needed a good run for Michael Norman Motorsports right there, Tim Walch. National Guard coming on, sponsoring his number 15 Chevrolet. Good run for him right now as he scored in the 7th position. Tim Walsh coming into this race mired 31st in the point standings. Now we've seen the good runs that his teammates Nathan Hudson and Brooke Allen have had. Tim Walsh, they're trying to get same kind of results for him. Brandon Gonzales right there in that 23 car, 6th in the point stands. This has by far been one of the best starts to the season for Brandon Gonzales and that team out of Gonzales Motorsports. Single car race team, Mitsubishi Lancer, and putting on another good run here today. As a matter of fact, you think back, all the way back to the now retired Mobil 1 Cup Series, Brandon Gonzales' very first career NSRA win came at this very track back in the Mobil 1 Cup Series. So this track's got a special place in his heart, no doubt. And having a solid outing right now with that Pokemon Go Mitsubishi Lancer inside of the top 10. This is the car I'm going to be very interested to see, K Tellier, because you think about her 2 wins last season here at Infineon and at Watkins Glen. She was able to stretch fuel a lot longer than other drivers, which really played into her going to victory lane. You got to wonder if they've strategized in the same kind of capacity for this race, and if we could see deja vu all over again. Not sure how different the Lincoln chassis is to a Ford chassis, which is what she was driving last year, a Ford Fusion. Got to wonder if there's any slight difference at all in that kind of a race car compared to a Ford, and if that in any way affects what fuel strategy could be. You have to plan differently with it being a different manufacturer. L McIntosh on fresher tires trying to get around the lap car of Jordan Lopez. McIntosh back in the 30th position right now, but he'll start picking up spots because now the race leaders are starting to come in as well that were further up. Trent Dunham gives up the 5th spot. Dylan Poteet gives up the 4th spot. They are both on the pit lane. Paul Minnick just now leaving pit road. Looks like Benjamin Miles has gone a lap down. I think he had made a pit stop. He'll cycle back on the lead lap when Ciculli hits pit lane. J Bryant about to go another lap down to the race leader. Bryant had to make an unscheduled pit stop after we saw that contact, that wreck between himself and Johnny Gardner. McIntyre still in 3rd, Hudson still in 4th. You look at the running order and you would think that the 99 and the 16 are teammates. Not in this series. 99's a Ford out of Young Motorsports. The 16's a Chevrolet out of Michael Norman Motorsports. So we've had 2 drivers that came into the top 5 in the running order come to pit road, and here comes our race leader. Ciculli is in, McIntyre and Hudson. And I don't know, I was going to say that would turn the lead over to somebody, but Dylan Poteet's back here in 4th place, just entering the S's. Shelton's on pit road as well. So let's follow our top 3 as they make their way to pit road, which is on lap 15, which tells me this may be the only pit stop these drivers will have to make, so this could be the money stop. And Dylan Poteet on fresher tires laid down quick enough laps to be able to get up here and take the lead away from Ciculli before Ciculli leaves pit road. Matt Haas just leaving. Anthony McCrury was just on and off pit road moments ago. Ciculli working on the left side, down and away. McIntyre's going to come out not too far back. McIntyre keeping close pace, and here comes Dylan Poteet trying to take the race lead. Did the fresher tires work? He's going to clear Ciculli. So Poteet, after the cycle of pit stops, he's going to go to the race lead. And he just put lap 16 on the board, which means next time by, we complete the 2nd stage. Dylan Poteet could be the winner of stage 2 with that pit strategy, coming to pit road 1 lap earlier than Ciculli and company. How about that? Told you it was going to be a pit strategy race. Poteet now out in front. Ciculli now finds himself back in 2nd. McIntyre in 3rd, Trent Dunham now 4th, and Hudson back in 5th place. Oh, but Dylan Young gonna maybe hold Dylan Poteet up. I think Poteet might have just given Dylan Young a shot, saying, hey, let me by. Dylan Young right now on the tail end of the lead lap. And currently scored, I believe, in the 31st position. Shelton still on pit road. Shelton might have been involved in something, and she's had an extended stay on pit lane. Z Flickinger just now on pit road. Z Fitzwater completes his service, and D Poteet will win the second stage of this race. Ciculli will be second, McIntyre third, Dunham fourth, Hudson fifth, sixth for K Tellier, Trent Dunham in seventh, Baskinger in eighth, ninth place Keith Batson, and it looks like J Llamas will get the final spot in the top 10 for the completion of this stage. So now the question is, can Joshua Ciculli run down D Poteet? We saw before when J Baskinger had his time out in front, Ciculli was very aggressive, was able to move Baskinger out of the way and take the top position. Now we have to see if Ciculli can do the same to the Tweenix Racing Chevrolet of D Poteet. Poteet now side by side with Zachary Fitzwater, trying to put Fitzwater down a lap. And it looks like he might clear him here through the exit of the S's, and indeed he does. Fitzwater swinging way, way wide in that corner. So these drivers were able to make it roughly between 13 to 15 laps on that tank of fuel, which means they pitted with between roughly 8 to 10 laps left to go, which says to me they are going to be able to make it the rest of the way. Now it just comes down to who's going to be able to lay down the fastest lap times. Jessica Shelton just now leaving pit road, so she has not retired from the race, but spent an awfully long time on the pit lane, did the Tampa Bay Rays Chevrolet. She's going to come out just in front of Nathan Hudson in 5th place. Hudson now trying to get by. Best battle on the track might be here for the 3rd position. McIntyre has it. Trent Dunham wants it. Certainly a run that Levi McIntyre needed. He was up inside the top 10 in the point standings heading into race 3 at Las Vegas. Got involved in a wreck when he was running at the time in the 2nd position, and things have just seemed to go south from there. The luck just has not been there for the 99 team. Found himself in the top 10 in points heading into Las Vegas, and then leaving Atlanta, he finds himself all the way down 23rd in points. This is a big time needed run for that team out of Young Motorsports, currently running in the final podium spot. D Poteet, though, I mean, like I said, this was a race that was going to come down to pit strategy. D Poteet decided to come to pit road 1 lap earlier than the top 3. Was able to get fresher tires, probably laid down a much better lap time than Ciculli, McIntyre, and Hudson were able to on older tires, and as a result, Poteet cycles around as the race leader. Now, keep in mind, Poteet's tires are about 1 lap older than Ciculli. As the thing wears on and the tires become more and more worn, Ciculli's going to have fresher rubber. Would Ciculli be able to utilize that to his benefit? My guess is probably not, because you look at the comparison. Ciculli will have 1 lap fresher tires than Poteet. Compare that to when they came to pit road. Poteet was making a lap on fresh tires, sticker tires. Ciculli was making a lap on about 15 lap old tires. So to me, there's no difference. Or not, I mean, there's a great difference, I should say, actually. 15 lap worn tire lap time as opposed to just 1 lap worn tire lap time. I do not think Ciculli's going to be able to reel Poteet in. The only way that he's going to have a chance of winning is if Poteet makes a mistake, and Benjamin Miles is on pit road. Benjamin Miles, who is running just outside of the top 10. Troubles for the Napa Auto Parts Dodge Dart out of NW Racing. Of course, our NSCRA split cam. Great folks that work here at NSCRA. Our camera crew will document what happened to Benjamin Miles for you. Miles, who was 19th in the point stands, and as I mentioned, was just outside of the top 10. Now, D Poteet has over a 5-second lead between himself and Joshua Ciculli, who still has to get around the lap machine of Zachary Fitzwater. Levi McIntyre solidly in 3rd, Trent Dunham in 4th, the points leader, and then Nathan Hudson there in 5th. 6th placed right now, Tim Walsh. 7th is Keith Batson. J Llamas is in 8th. J Baskinger runs in 9th. And Brandon Gonzales is now in 10th, and he's gotten into the wall. and spins the thing around, had trouble getting around the lap machine of Dylan Young, and Brandon Gonzales, who was en route to a good finish, may have just thrown it away. There's Cody Smart, now up there. I believe he is, I think he's in 10th. This is the battle for 10th. Joshua Michaels trying to take the spot away. K Tellier right there as well. Tellier also got held up behind Dylan Young. And at the line, who got 10th place? Scoring monitor said it was Cody Smart. But Joshua Michaels not going to give up. Whoa, Cody Smart going way wide in that corner. And now K Tellier are going to battle with Joshua Michaels for that 10th spot. Lap car of Dylan Young, the man in the middle of all this. Michaels coming into this race. 9th in the point stands, very well-known road course racer. He will take the 10th spot. K Tellier in 11th, and Cody Smart wants it, and Smart wheel hops! And he gets K Tellier in the right rear, spins her around. Tellier's going to get the thing refired, but not before losing multiple spots. Lost a spot to Srigley, lost one to Culpepper, and also lost one to Gardner. Oh boy, if K Tellier gets up to Cody Smart, he may not be too happy with him. K Tellier's running for a championship. Comes into this race 18th in points. Cody Smart's just basically running to try and have a good showing here, as he's basically battling for the non-chartered championship. McIntyre lost the 3rd position to Trent Dunham, so move Trent up to 3rd place. That's another position on track and another point that Trent Dunham can use to continue to grow his points lead. Came in as the points leader. All goes well for the next 1.5 laps. Trent Dunham will definitely leave Infineon as the points leader. Dylan Poteet also is going to have a good point today as well. Actually, would Trent leave as the points leader? Because Poteet comes into this race 3rd, the points are only 4 points out. And you get 5 bonus points for winning the race, plus Dylan Poteet won the 2nd stage. It looks like he may win the 3rd and final stage if he wins this race. So with all those bonus points being said, Dylan Poteet, I think, actually still would take the points lead away from Trent Dunham. Trent would more than likely be 2nd in points, but I do think Dylan Poteet, based on how the stage bonus points work, I think Poteet would take the points lead from Trent Dunham heading into next week. Very interesting there, as Dylan Poteet is on the final lap of this race. And unless he really messes up and loses 8 seconds in recovery time, Dylan Poteet is going to run away with this thing. 7.8 seconds back to Joshua Ciculli in 2nd. He did have the lap car of Zachary Fitzwater between himself and the leaders, and now he's got the lap car of Jordan Lopez added to that list. Through the S's, he's just got to be smooth as Dylan Poteet. So far this season, it's been a great start for Dylan Poteet. Average finishing position of 13th place. He's about to make his first trip to victory lane here in Season 4 of the Hershey's Cup Series. Down the straightaway, heading for the paperclip turn 11. Nobody in sight to challenge him for that win. Dylan Poteet's going to cruise control himself to the start-finish line. Dylan Poteet will take the checkered flag here today, his first win of the season at Infineon. Boy, Dylan Poteet, you go back to that round of green flag pit stops, that was the money stop. That was the moment that changed the complexity of this race. And a great call by the crew chief of the 31 team to come to pit road 1 lap earlier, have those fresher Goodyears, lay down that faster lap, and he was able to get Joshua Ciculli at the exit of pit road and never looked back. So we have now had 6 races, 6 different race winners. Had a repeat winner in the Pizza Deck Series race here yesterday, not so here today. 6 different race winners, which means at this point 6 slots in the chase for the championship are taken. 10 remain, provided those 6 previous winners remain in the top 30 in the point standings. Dylan Poteet's going to be heading to victory lane. Nathan Hudson finished second, Ciculli in third, McIntyre in fourth. Keith Batson fought his way up to fifth in the closing stages. Sixth place is Cody Llamas, Tim Walsh, J Baskinger, Joshua Michaels, and Cody Smart, who went to victory lane here in the non-charter race a couple days ago, will finish the day out in 10th. Take a look at the full finisher results as they are now in. Brandon Gonzales will finish 11th despite wrecking in the S's. Joseph Srigley will finish in 12th. David Culpepper, another go-or-go-home non-charter car, solid outing in his debut race as well as he gets 13th. 14th place for J Gardner, and K Tellier, after getting spun out by Cody Smart there in the closing stages, still manages to finish the day out in 15th. K Mathews, defending champion, gets 16th place. Never really talked about him today. He gets a top 20 finish along with DJ Curtis, who also made his first start today in 17th. L Arndt, Paul Minnick, and L McIntosh. That was your top 20. The rest of the cars that finished this race on the lead lap were Anthony McCrury, James McCloud, Sean Gallighan, Chris Dodd, Matt Haas. Trent Dunham had to make a pit stop apparently in the closing stages of this one. He finishes 26th, and Daniel Olson finishes the last car in the lead lap in 27th. Trent Dunham, boy, he was en route to a top 5 finish. And I don't know if something happened to him or not. If something happened to him, obviously you guys saw it on the split cam and I didn't. But it looks like he finished the race, so maybe he got spun out or something. I don't know. But that's a tough break, obviously, there in the closing stages for Trent, as he was en route to be leaving today's race, more than likely second in the point stands to the race winner, Dylan Poteet. This may drop him a couple spots in points now, as he'll finish in 26th. Then our cars that finished a lap down from 28th on down: Jordan Lopez, Zachary Fitzwater, Dylan Young. Last week's winner out, L Alvarise, Jessica Shelton, Z Flickinger, and J Bryant. And then all these drivers finished out of the race: Benjamin Miles, Emmanuel Hartnett, Blaine Keys, Garrett Sydnor, Cole Baker, Charles Sandfer, Caitlin Sang. And we had one car that I guess didn't even take the green? Who would that have been? Oh, Brooke Allen. Brooke Allen never even took the green according to the scoring monitor. Well, tough break there for Brooke. Don't even have her scored in 42nd. Wow. And that's a driver that came into this race second in the point standings. So definitely, no doubt about it, Dylan Poteet is going to be the points leader heading into next week. But what the rest of the point standings look like, I'm not really sure what they're going to be. I mean, possibly Nathan Hudson will jump up quite a bit in the standings, I would think, with a second place run. Potentially Joshua Michaels and Brandon Gonzales as well. But Dylan Poteet could have a pretty sizable gap on everybody else heading into next week. And next week, we get ready to go what is it called? Two-stepping? I don't remember. Texas two-stepping, I guess is what it's called. As we're going to Texas Motor Speedway for the Hershey's Cup Series non-charter race, Pizza Hut X Series race, and the Hershey's Cup Series main event. Congratulations once again to Dylan Poteet on the win here today at Infineon. He becomes the 6th different race winner here this season in Season 4 of the Hershey's Cup Series. If you enjoyed today's race, be sure to give us a like, subscribe to become part of the crew today. We've shown you full finish results. Up next, it's your rookie points, your overall points, and we will see you guys next week for Texas Motor Speedway Racing, as you've been watching a production of the NNSCRA Offline Racing at its best. So long from Infineon.